Guys, and welcome to a new GTK window tutorial. In the last video I just jumped from GTK window set default size to GTK window maximize, and I was telling you that I had to mark these two calls because I was dealing with them. Well, I didn't, I forgot, and it is good time. It's a good place now to start again with those two, because I was sure that I was talking about them and I just ignored them, but I didn't. So the GTK window set resizable. You see this behavior which you have it once that you create a window. Let me drop these things here because we don't need a window move anymore. Once that you create a window, then you rely on the size of the window. If you don't do nothing, you get 200. If you create it bigger, like I don't know, 500, it will be something like this. And maybe you decide to have this window at this size, and you decide that you do not want to let your user to play with this window. For this means the resize, you can control it if you want to, so that the user does what to do. This means this is the function GTK window set resizable, which does this job for you. So let me find it first. It is get set resizable right here, and says it is a function which it does nothing, void, and takes two parameters: the window itself and the resizable, which is true if the user can or cannot resize this window. Sets whatever the user can resize a window. Windows are user resizable by default. We already know that, and we already saw that. Now the thing, it is like here, I'm doing right now. So GTK window, and then we are passing window, and we are going to say true, which is the default one. You will see that nothing happens, but I'm going to use it as to be sure that you understand it. You see, being set to true, I can play with the window. If I'm setting now to false, then the window is not going to get some changes. And the important thing is not just that you cannot make some changes. You see those three buttons here, they are gone. There are only two now, because the middle one is missing, that one which gives you the chance to maximize or minimize the window. And this is the way how you block also when a user, for example, like in my case, I'm pressing the Alt button on the keyboard, and then the scroll button, the middle button, and you see we get here the context menu and the resize and the maximize. Those two, you see, they are dead. Also, if you press like in my case, let me close it and run it again, Alt F8 is dead, it doesn't work. So basically this is what this function does. The next thing, the get resizable, which is gboolean this time. This means you can check its result, says gets the value set by GTK set resizable. So this means you can do something like this. You call this function in an if statement, and you say if GTK windows get resizable, and then you pass the GTK window, GTK, something goes horribly wrong with this laptop, window, because it takes only one parameter. Then you'll do set to true, just to show you that the thing, the way how the program is and the way how the program flows, it doesn't work. And that's because we set into false and we are checking if it's true. Now I'm going to change the story. I'm going to set it to true for some reasons, just to show you, or whatever. No, let me do it again. Let me check it to false, and we are going to say if it's equal to false, which is the same thing like if it's not, whatever, then put it back to true. So the window was set to false, and then we are checking if the window was set to false. If the window was set to false, we are setting it back to true. And by doing this, you see we got our middle button right here, and of course we can play with the window. Of course, if you click the middle button, the Alt and the middle button, you can move the window, and of course you have the resize and the maximize back here, you see, and everything works fine. So this is basically what these two function does. This is the thing which I thought that I was telling you about them, but as you can already notice, I forgot. But now I'm going to mark them as done, and that's it. Okay, the next thing, GTK window iconify. This is very interesting also. So let me go back to the documentation and search for these functions. Where are those functions? Right here, GTK window iconify and deconify. De-iconify. So as it's a function which does void nothing and takes one parameter and says asks to iconify or minimize the specified window. Note that you should not assume that the window is definitely ignored afterwards. You see, you get the same story again and again because the user or the window manager could deconify. So basically this means I'm going to use this function to show you how it's working, but the real way to check if this function works and to see if those if those settings which you thought that you applied on the window, which means iconify, are really there and happens and then zigs and they had no changes, it's through Windows state event, which is not the case right now. We're again going to let it for later. Okay, so that being said, we're going to call this function, and I'm going to remove those things here, and I'm going to call it. And as you can see, GTK window, it's only one parameter. And now when I'm going to compile it and run it, bam, you see no application. Of course, because once that I run the application, I said it go to the taskbar. This is what the function does. It moved the window here on my taskbar, so I need to click it to get it back. You see, it is right here, and if I need it, I need to click it on it, and then I can play with it. The same story goes for the other one, the window de-iconify, which says it's a function which does void, takes again only one parameter, which is the window itself, and we have the same story. Ask to de-iconify, so minimize. Yes, because basically this is the thing which happens. The specified window, again the same story. Note that you should not assume that the window blah blah. Okay, I think I don't want to bore you with those things now, because they understand. You get it a lot and a lot and a lot of time. This thing right here, you will going to see it a lot, guys. Anyway, we are going to talk about this in the moment when Windows state event story comes. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to make a copy of this one right here and replace it with the iconify. And once that I'm compile it and run it, basically you won't see no difference. You see the window is right here this time, because why? We said to go to iconify and then I put it back. But I wanted to show you the way how it's working and the way what you need to understand before you take the right path or the right way to work with those things. That being said, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.